Hi, I'm Kat, and welcome to my channel, Elevate for Self-Love. It's been a while, a few months since I've put up any videos, and this summer I was busy building a lot of new content for the fall, new videos, even a digital course, and I hope you're all going to love those things as they come out little by little this fall. But before I get into any new topic, I would just like to say don't forget to go to the link below, which is the free ebook that I had written a few months ago. And it's really a wonderful tool for getting over a breakup. So if you feel like you are on the floor, you're struggling, you can't let go, you are, highly emotional, you don't know what to do next, I wrote this little mini guide to help you kind of get through the first critical steps after a breakup. So I hope you'll take a look at that. That was actually written after I had gone through a toxic relationship with a narcissist of a few years. And those were the tools that actually worked for me. So, I think it says something when you can live through an experience and you can get through it and you can heal. And it shows that you're able to, um, that you've gained the wisdom, let's say, that you can pass on to other people. And so that's what that guide is. It's all of those things I learned and things that I used and everything that worked for me. So I hope it will work for you if you're really down and out and having a really hard time getting over someone or breaking a trauma bond. Also, if any of your friends happen to be going through a similar situation, feel free to send them the link and hopefully it can help them as well. So, now back to the topic of today, which is when you have to cut people off. So, I went through a situation a few months ago where I had several people who all knew each other, and one of them was an unmedicated bipolar person. And two of them were definitely toxic people, including that one. And then there was a third person who was just really an enabler. So the third person wasn't really toxic per se, but she became toxic because she enabled the behavior of the unmedicated bipolar person. So, you know, in general, what wound up happening was because they were all associated and there was this kind of dysfunctional relating going on with them, with all three of them, I had to cut them out of my life. And it was really, really hard because I cared very much about two of them. And it was super, super hard because, I was very close friends with one of them. The other one I had tried to be friends with, but unfortunately, if you try to be friends with someone who's bipolar and who is not medicated, it doesn't really work because that person is not um, perceiving things like everybody else does. They don't perceive the world the same. They don't perceive situations the same. They don't perceive you the same as other people would, people that are not mentally ill. So when you're dealing with mentally ill people, it's really hard because it's like you care about them and you want the best for them and you want to help them and you want to be there for them, but then they'll turn on you. And that's so hard because you're like, I just had the best intentions for this person and I really cared, but unfortunately, it seems to be in my experience that the mentally ill will turn negative. There will be some sort of negative experience that will unfortunately cause a rift or an end to the situation. So I had actually cut ties with the bipolar person already, but I was still in contact with the other two people. And especially this one person who was the enabler, who was a really good friend of mine, or so I thought. But I just couldn't deal with the fact that this person didn't say anything to the bipolar person about um, his behavior. And it was her son. So essentially, it would have made sense that she would have said something. but she didn't. She pretended like it didn't happen. And, despite the fact that like he had disrespected me and did some very wrong things and treated me unfairly, she didn't say anything. She just let it go and she just pretended it didn't happen. She swept it under the carpet. So let's talk about that. You know, that is very common in codependency, that we will sweep things under the carpet. We will pretend that things didn't happen. We will make excuses for people. We will justify and, kind of like, instead of actually having, uh, I guess you could say it's conflict avoidance. So it's avoiding a conflict or avoiding a confrontation. And it's just easier. Sometimes it's easier to just do that. So I think she saw things that way, and she didn't realize that I really wanted her to say something because I felt like the way he was treating me wasn't respectful and it wasn't right. So, because I had originally been her friend and this was her son, to me, it just felt like she should have stepped in. However, that being said, not everybody parents the same. So, if that had been my kid, I would have like flipped if my kid did that to someone else. Even if my kid was 50 years old, I would have flipped and I would have said something, because to me it wouldn't have been appropriate. Not everybody's the same, not everybody is, let's say, parenting the same. Not everybody sees everything the same way. And she didn't see it that way. She saw it as if she didn't want to get involved. And I even had said to her, he's probably going to lie to you anyway about it. He's not going to tell you the truth. And, that's probably true. But that being said, I still felt like it needed to be said. Someone needed to hold this person accountable, call this person out, because I wasn't doing it anymore, because I was out. I was like, I'm not involved with this person anymore. I cut ties. I'm out. But the mother, like, she's his mother. I'm not his mother. So it's not really my job to step in and tell him what's right and wrong, but it's his mother's job to do that. So let's just say that things came to a head and there was a lot of conflict and a lot of, I guess, misunderstandings, where I was painted as this negative, like, obsessive person or something by this other person, the bipolar person, who they're bipolar. So, that's kind of what people do when they're mentally ill. They are not seeing things like normal, and they'll do anything, they'll say anything so that they're not at fault, because they're not going to take accountability. Not someone who's unmedicated and not healed and not in therapy and not mature enough. So I had to be the fall guy, because this person wasn't going to own up to anything, and I felt like I was stuck in the middle. So I had to cut everyone off, including like all three of these people. So I'd originally cut off the one person, the bipolar person, and then I had to cut off the other people. And it was because I don't want to be defending myself to anyone. Like, so if let's say someone's going to be attacking me and someone's going to be disrespectful to me and someone's going to come at me in a disrespectful way, I'm just done. And if you're going to enable someone who has mental illness, and the person's not medicated, if you're going to enable them by just sweeping all their bad behavior under the carpet, I can't respect that. So I had become resentful of my friend who wasn't saying anything to her son, who was treating me inappropriately for a period of time. I I began to not respect her, and I began to resent her because I felt like she wasn't doing the right thing. Again, that's my opinion. and she can live her life however she wants. But for me, it became a deal breaker, and I couldn't continue the friendship, and things did get like worse, and it was just, it was too much. It was a series of events, and also there was so much lying. Like this bipolar person's lying all the time, and it's like I knew that he was lying about so many things, and she wouldn't know, and then but she would know that he does lie, and then she'd find out that he was lying about things, and I didn't want to be the one getting involved with exposing the lies, and it was just like too much drama. So, you know, what's really sad is that I wound up losing a friend, and I lost one other friend, the bipolar guy that I thought was like a really good, like potential friend, that I had like gotten to know this person a little bit, and I thought we had a lot in common and we were going to have a great friendship too. So I lost like two potential like really great friends, and the third person I didn't know very well, and they obviously didn't know me very well because they turned on me and got like very I don't know, they attacked me in an inappropriate way. So, and since I didn't really know this person very well, I just cut them off as well. So, um, it's so hard to like let go and cut off people that you really care about.